Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kirtan ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskritya. Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Tato Jayamudiraye. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 5, Lord Rishabhadev's teachings, and Shloka number 8. So, there's a very famous shloka which Prabhupada often used to recite. Pumsah striya maituni bhavametam tayor mito hridaya gantim ahuhu. Ata griha kshetra sutapta vitter janasya moho yamaham mameti. Pumsah striya maituni bhavametam tayor mito hridaya gantim ahuhu. Ato griha kshetra sutapta vitter janasya moho yamaham mameti. Pumsah striya maituni bhavametam tayor mito hridaya gantim ahuhu. Ato griha kshetra sutapta vitter janasya moho yamaham mameti. Pumsah striya maituni bhavametam tayor mito hridaya gantim ahuhu. Ato griha kshetra sutapta vitter janasya moho yamaham mameti. Pumsah striya maituni bhavametam tayor mito hridaya gantim ahuhu. Ato griha kshetra sutapta vitter janasya moho yamaham mameti. Pumsah striya maituni bhavametam tayor mito hridaya gantim ahuhu. Ato griha kshetra sutapta vitter janasya moho yamaham mameti. Word meaning Pumsaha of a male, Striyaha of a female, Mithuni Bhavam attraction for sexual life, Etam this, Tayoho of both of them, Mitaha between one another, Hridaya Gantim the knot of the heart, Ahuhu they call, Ataha thereafter, Griha by home, Kshetra field, Suta children, Apta relatives, Vittahi by and by wealth, Janasya of the living being, Mohaha illusion, I am this, Aham I, Mama mine, Iti thus. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The attraction between male and female is the basic principle of material existence. On the basis of this misconception, which ties together the hearts of the male and female, one becomes attracted to this body. One becomes attracted to his body, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. In this way, one increases life's illusion and thinks in terms of I and mine. Purport: sex serves as the natural attraction between man and women, and when they are married, their relationship becomes more involved. Due to the entangling relationship between man and women, there is a sense of illusion whereby one thinks, this man is my husband or this woman is my wife. This is called Hridaya Ganti, the hard knot in the heart. The knot is very difficult to undo, even though a man and women separate either for the principle of Varnashrama or simply to get a divorce. In any case, the man always thinks of the woman and the woman always thinks of the man. Thus, a person becomes materially attached to family, property, and children. Although all of these are temporary, the possessor unfortunately identifies with his property and wealth. Sometimes, even after renunciation, one becomes attracted to a temple or to the few things that constitute the property of a sannyasi, but such attachment is not as strong as family attachment. The attachment to the family is the strongest illusion. In the Satya Samhita, it is stated, Brahmadaya yajnavalkhadhya muchyante stri sahayinah bodhyante kechanai tesham vishesham cha vido viduhu. Sometimes it is found among great exalted personalities like Lord Brahma that the wife and children are not a cause of bondage. In the contrary, the wife actually helps further spiritual life and liberation. Nonetheless, most people are bound by the knots of the marital relationship, and consequently they forget their relationship with Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shlakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guraho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna, so it's a very often quoted shloka, and Prabhupada has given various illuminations on this one, and Prabhupada actually explains the material attraction, how a living entity is sustained in the material world. So it is because of this, the attraction between the male and female. Pumsah striya mituni bhava metam. So we have heard, or we have discussed this portion of what it means to be self-realized. So when Krishna consciousness arises in the heart, so what happens? When Krishna consciousness arises in the heart, so then immediately the a person becomes detached from the material things, right? So as Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hai Andhakar. So when Krishna arises in the heart, so then the illusion gets dispelled, right? So and illusion gets dispelled means what happens? So we will be able to see Krishna, we will be able to see ourselves, and we will be able to see everything else also, right? So clearly. So this is what happens. So we'll be able to see Krishna means Nama Rupa Guna Leela, we will have an experience in this one, and we will be able to see ourselves means we'll be able to see ourselves as part and parcel of Krishna and meant to render service to Krishna, and we will be able to see other things means how all other things which exist, they are also part and parcel of Krishna. So this clarity comes when we are able to have an experience of Krishna. So when Krishna arises in the heart, so all these simultaneously happen. So this shloka is the exact opposite of that. So when we are able to experience the attraction between the male and female, then immediately we forget everything about Krishna consciousness. So in one place Prabhupada writes this statement, maybe in this one only, the 5th chapter only it may come. So Prabhupada says that whether it is illicit or licit, when a man embraces a woman, he forgets everything about Krishna consciousness. We used to keep this in the Brahmacharya ashram. We had kept this quote. So this is this attraction between the male and female. Here in the translation Prabhupada says it is a basic principle of material existence. So when this attraction happens with the material object, so then immediately, everything about Krishna becomes, it is like darkness arising, Krishna, like sun is setting, so when we are able to experience Nama Rupa Guna Leela of the Lord, so then it is sun rising, and then clarity emerges, both about the Lord, about ourselves, and about things around. And when we have attraction between male and female, so it is the same opposite this one. It's just like the sun is setting, and we are not able to see the sun, we are not able to see ourselves, and we are not able to see things around us. So we are not able to see the Lord means no taste in Nama Rupa Guna Leela, and then we are not able to see ourselves means we are not able to see ourselves as part and parcel of the Lord. Rather, we see ourselves as bhokta, enjoyer, right? So we are meant to enjoy things. And we are not able to see things around means, so we are able to see things around, but we are able to see them as something different from Krishna. Like it is not part and parcel of Krishna, something different from Krishna. It can potentially harm me, or it can potentially, I can potentially enjoy them, right? So this is the consciousness, actually, it actually changes. So on the basis of this misconception, that is the attraction between the male and female, so which ties together the hearts of male and female, one becomes attracted to this body, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. Now this is all products of illusion. So when the attraction happens, then all the aspects of illusion actually starts manifesting, right? So in this way, one increases life's illusion and thinks in terms of I and mine, right? So all these things, just like this, when sun sets, like so many phenomena happen. When sun rises, also so many phenomena happen, right? So when sun rises, like illumination comes, then like as we had discussed before, we are able to see ourselves, see the sun, and see everything clearly. So in the same way, when sun sets, also so many phenomenon happens. Like we will not be able to see somewhere some gadda is there, we will not be able to see that. And like so many phenomena actually happens. In the same way, when male and female gets attracted, so many phenomena happen. So what are the things? One becomes attracted to his body and home, property, children, relatives, wealth, and then life's illusion extends, and one thinks in terms of I and mine, right? So this is this one. So when material nature, so we are in the shelter of material nature, under the modes of material nature, so all these things will manifest. And the trigger point is attraction between the male and female, right? So in this regard, like today morning, I was hearing Prabhupada class, so in that Prabhupada was nicely mentioning, so they were asking about different spiritual people, Aurobindo, Ramakrishna, and different this ones they were asking to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada told, I have strong faith in Bhagavad Gita statement, so that, what is this, Duskriti? Namam Duskriti no Muda, Prapadyante Naradama, Maya Pasita Jnana, Ashrim Bhavam Ashrita. So like, I have strong faith in this one. Anyone who is not a devotee of Krishna has to be in this 4 category. So he didn't, he was explaining. And then he told that if they are there in this 4 category, definitely they have to be attracted to the women. So then, like disciples were telling, this person had some illicit affair, this person, he went to the foreign and then he brought 3 foreign women and with him and things like that. So like this, all this ones, like Prabhupada is saying, yes, like, they have to be attracted. And then he quotes the shloka of Yamunacharya, yed avadi mama cheta krishna padare vinde nava nava rasadamni udyatam rantumasid. Tad avadi batanari sangame smaryamane bhavati mukha vikhara shushtu nishtivanam cha. So here it's mentioned yad avadi, ever since mama chetaha krishna padara vinde. So when my consciousness has been engaged in the lotus feet of the Lord, nava nava rasa damni, so it's newer and newer rasas actually is coming about, and transcendental taste, of the glories of the Lord, and udyatam rantumasit. It has arisen in the heart, right? So we can actually see how it is quite in sync, with the shlokas that we often like discuss in this connection, so that what is that? Swayam eva spuratyada, no? And then Udayam, like, no, this is like, it is actually arising in the heart, actually. No, Krishna actually revealing himself, no, in the heart. And then Navanava Rasa. So this is like Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. So when Krishna is present, means what? Like, nobody can be bored with Krishna, because Krishna is like very dynamic. No, all the time he is giving new and newer rasas. Like, he is constantly, he himself is an expanding personality, and his bliss, the component of bliss in him, is quite expanding. So living entity, no, cannot be satisfied with one thing, no, for a long time, no, like always there is a change that is needed. So but Krishna, when one is engaged with Krishna, there is no need of change, no, because Krishna is so dynamic personality, so no, all changes are accommodated in him. So he, no, like issues forth so much different kinds of rasas, no, so much no, expanding bliss. No, Krishna is an ocean of bliss, and that ocean is ever expanding ocean of bliss. There is no way that anybody can become like bored with Krishna. No, it is not possible. So if you are actually actually we are able to connect with Krishna in the form of holy name, so we will not be bored. No, we will be thinking of chanting more. So if we are thinking, no, if like today morning I was getting so much sleep, no, I was just thinking, like, you know, Krishna has abandoned me, you know, kind of. So it is like when we are not able to connect with Krishna properly, so then we will feel tiredness, we will feel sleepy, we will feel like kab ye khatam hoga, dusra kaam chalu karenge, and things like that. So but then when we are able to connect with Krishna, so we will be able to feel a great level of happiness in the heart, and we will be active in the relationship, and then we will feel like continuing to chant, right? So and after chanting we will be energetic, so sometimes it happens like after chanting, abhi अरे इतना बड़ा काम किया, अभी जाके सोने so जब करते करते और नींद बढ़ रहा है tiredness बढ़ रहा है, मतलब like we have not been able to connect with Krishna, that the whole experience is little tiring, so then it is, we are not able to connect with Krishna. So if we are able to connect with Krishna, we'll be very enthusiastic and very happy, and chant more and things like that, right? So this whole point of yadavadi mama cheta Krishna padaravinde. So when my consciousness is engaged in Krishna's lotus feet, so that means either in the service or in the holy name or in Srimad Bhagavatam, in some way or other, like our mind and our senses have to be engaged in the service of the Lord. So then newer and newer this ones actually come about. So many wonderful things actually come about. So, and if that is not engaged, the natural alternative that is there is, if spiritually we are not engaged, then we have to be engaged materially. So there is no other alternative. And also, like last two classes we have been discussing this point, that sadhana is not sometimes like devotee becomes very narrow. Sadhana means like my chanting, reading, hearing, or doing aarti and things like that. So sadhana has to be, what is the essential aspect of sadhana? So essential aspect of sadhana is remembrance of the Lord. And like if I can, in the Prabhupada class reflection we were discussing day before yesterday, that if we keep an iron rod in the fire, and then Prabhupada gives this example, iron rod kept in the fire, it acquires the property of fire. So if we keep the iron rod in the fire for half an hour and keep outside for half an hour, so the iron rod will come back to its natural quality, right? So again, if you keep the iron rod for half an hour into this one, and again you keep it outside for half an hour, so then the iron rod will not behave like a fire. It will behave like iron rod only. So for some time it will have the fire, and then after some time the fire will be lost. So the sadhana means to keep the iron rod always in the fire. So then it will act like fire. Then it will acquire the qualities of fire. So we have, this is one, one doubt, philosophical doubt I had, that matter is basically made of what? This matter is made of Achit, Asat, Achit, and Nirananda, right? So it is matter. How can it become spiritual? So then matter cannot become spiritual, but matter can be spiritualized. That is where this example very aptly fits. The iron rod kept in the fire. Iron rod doesn't become fire, but it becomes fiery. It can exhibit all the qualities of a fire. It can actually act as good as a fire. So in the same way, like our body, by nature, our body is asat, achit and nirananda. That is what is we are composed of, and like it will act in a material way only. So, but this matter, when it is utilized in the Krishna consciousness, then it becomes spiritualized and it will start behaving like spirit. So, like towards the end, it is mentioned how the wife can help a person advance in Krishna consciousness. So, like material relationship, but if it is spiritualized by following the regulative principles and by acting according to the scriptural injunctions and acting according to Guru Sadhu Shastra, so that material relationship can also be spiritualized and it can help in spiritual advancement. But if not acted according to the regulative principles, then we have to understand we are dealing with matter. Matter can inspire all these things. Griga Kshetra Sutapta Vittar Janasya Moho Maham Mameti. So this is the natural thing like that can come about by associating with matter. But if we use the matter in a proper way according to the regulative principles, using it in Krishna consciousness as it is advised by Guru Sadhu Shastra, so then the matter it will become spiritualized and it will help as good as like associating with Krishna. So like that it can help. So but otherwise it is we have to be very careful that it's like handling the current. If it is effectively utilized, mobile chala sakta hai and then heater chala sakta hai, this one, so many different things we can do, right? So light ye kar sakta hai. So but then if it is not used effectively, it is current, it is going to create shock, right? So that is how this one is like this matter is quite it has the capacity to influence or infuse the illusion into our system. So if it is not utilized in the proper way according to the regulative principles, right? So this sex serves as the natural attraction between man and women, and when they are married, their relationship becomes more involved. So due to the entangling relationship between man and women, there is a sense of illusion whereby one thinks the man is my husband and woman is my wife, right? So when it becomes the matter, like how much we possess ourselves, like when so many mobile phones are getting stolen, but if this mobile phone gets stolen, I'll feel bad, because I've developed that attachment, this is mine, right? So when some material element is there with us, and then we develop, we think that this is, I own this property, so then my attachment becomes very strong, so I get involved in that relationship, and then so that becomes more attractive actually. So one thing we see that in the Vedic times, the whole system was the boy is trained as a brahmachari and the woman is given, the girl is trained in the home environment. So in the both, after long time of training and a good amount of culture that is there around, so with that they actually enter into marriage relationship, and many people would be successful in continuing a proper grahastha life. In this one, considering the Kali Yuga, this one, the samskaras, like what kind of samskaras is given, like right from the childhood, the child grows up seeing that, the parents seeing movies and film songs and things like that, and then wo bhi bada hoke like aisa hi karna hai, so he also sees and that the whole environment, and it is so, and these days though, like it is even more. I heard a shocking news that one mother is telling to the son that you don't have an affair, like it is so bad, like are you you're a man or not, like I'm getting doubt, so like you're a boy, you should have some affairs. So this is the like worst state of situation the Kali Yuga is in, where the parents who are supposed to actually train the children to be nice, they themselves are actually spoiling the children, right? So we see that this kind of samskaras, when this is there, and after that we come to Krishna consciousness, and then after that we try to practice, it is quite very difficult. It is quite very difficult, and that is why this whole this one, why is this process of Krishna consciousness awarded in Kali Yuga? because it is very intense. If it is practiced rightly, the Krishna conscious process is quite intense. So the mood of our Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is also quite intense. And then the so many services and preaching programs and different activities we are doing. So because if we are not either we don't practice intense devotional service, or we don't practice intense physical activities in Krishna consciousness, then the mind will naturally be attracted to the material things, because our samskaras are too good, so that it is very difficult for us to keep us away from the association of opposite sex. It has to have equal and opposite pull towards Krishna consciousness, right? So as how much the attraction of the material nature is there, so the equal and opposite pull should be there in the Krishna consciousness. That is when we can keep ourselves safeguarded. Otherwise we will be whichever samskara is greater, so that samskara will pull, and then the living entity will go to this one. So that is why the devotees have a very difficult time. If we don't tightly engage devotees, so then they will the natural this one is they will get thoughts towards the opposite sex. And if we tightly engage devotees, they will say Prabhuji ye bahut ho gaya. So we are burnt out with the service. If we tightly engage, we should also give them a sense of experience of the Lord. So if they don't have a sense of experience of the Lord, then they will feel burnt out. Outside they can get burnt out, but here, if they get burnt out, it will be, so they'll leave Krishna consciousness. Outside, if they get burnt out, क्या कर सकते रोटी, पापी पेट का सवाल है, काम करना ही पड़ेगा, जितना भी मारना है मारो, salary दे दो मुझे, so like that, so बाहर चलता है, but इधर आके बाहर ये सब चीज है, इसके लिए इधर आए, इधर भी इतना ज्यादा काम है, ऐसा कैसा हो सकता है? So इतना ज्यादा काम नहीं देंगे तो हम काम का वश में पड़ जाएंगे, है ना? So it is if we don't engage the devotee so tightly, so then the devotee will go into the material thoughts and किसी लड़की के साथ भाग जाएगा. So it is quite difficult, है ना? तो we have to, it is very tricky this one. For the leaders in Krishna consciousness, it's quite difficult task. So we have to keep the devotee engaged, and we have to sometimes tell the devotees also philosophically that you see it is very important to keep yourself engaged. Otherwise tum chale jaoge. So it is very important. Otherwise Maya pakad legi. So please don't mind. I'll be keeping you tight. So aisa bolna padta hai. So it is very important that we should understand this one pull of the negative samskara, and then the need of an equal and opposite power, pull in the Krishna consciousness, right? So otherwise it is quite difficult to maintain, right? And then if they have a bad experience in Krishna consciousness that it is too tight and too much of service and things like that, then also they will not progress. They should have a good experience, at the same time they have to be tightly engaged. So it is it seems to be opposite, but somehow or other that is the expertise of the leaders. They have to tax their brain, pray to Krishna, how to engage devotees so nicely, and at the same time give them a feeling of bliss in Krishna consciousness, right? So that is possible only if the leaders are successful in giving the members experience of Krishna. So if they can help them chant better, if they can help them absorb themselves in the Bhagavatam, and if they can help them to at least find taste in Vaishnava bhajan, or some aspect where they can actually connect with Krishna properly, so then that can actually serve as a good impetus, good sustaining factor in Krishna consciousness. So this knot is very difficult to undo, the knot between the man and women. And even though a man and women separate either for the principles of varnashram, so in terms of the vanaprastha and sannyas, and then or in an illegal way, try to get a divorce, in any case the man always thinks of women and the women always thinks of man. So this is natural attraction, right? So in this place, that shloka that we were discussing of Yamunacharya, so this yad avadi mama cheta Krishna padaravinde. So only way we can actually be saved from this, it is quite difficult to undo The natural thought process is about, like, we'll think of women. So, but then, or the opposite sex. But then if we can engage our mind, in Krishna's service, So that is like, this also we often discuss this point, that Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriye. So engaging means I cannot just forcibly engage. No, Lord, I'll now do arti for you. Like, now I'll smell your flowers. No, now I'll chant your names. So, no, and you have to come in my control. No, ऐसा नहीं, rules नहीं dictate कर सकते हैं भगवान का साथ. So we have to pray to the Lord that I am, deeply affected by the material thoughts. And I need, please save me from this. So the very nice prayer is the 5th stanza of the Sikshashtakam. What is that prayer? Ainanda tanuja kinkara patitam mam vishame bhavam budo. So how can I justify I have fallen into this ocean of material existence? Patitam mam vishame bhavam buddha. So like, I have fallen into the ocean of material existence because my mind is constantly thinking about material things. Any chance, immediately, like, the mind is start thinking about material things. So I am actually fallen into the ocean of material existence. And then, please save me, please take me and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet, right? So that's what we are actually asking about, when Sevan Mikehi Jivado Swayameva Spuratyada. So we just render service, and then this prayer actually helps me, that after rendering service to the Lord, either chanting or any of the services, so praying to the Lord that if you are pleased with this service, kindly reveal yourself unto me, or kindly take me closer to you, or kindly give me more deeper spiritual realization, so that I can naturally be away from the material thoughts, right? So, and I can naturally be engaged in your service. And this purification of heart or revelation of Krishna has so many benefits. Our whole point is to render service to Krishna and please him. So, but then how can I render service to him in a nice way? Like, so generally we see that, whom will we keep as, if we want to do some job. So like, for that particular job, somebody who is expert we will keep as an assistant for us, right? So he can assist us very nicely in that, and we can get the job done. So like, in the same way, if you want to please the Lord, so we need a friendly consciousness, a consciousness which is always thinking about Krishna, favorable for Krishna and things like that. With a material consciousness and trying to please Krishna is like quite a difficult this one. Our assistant, our consciousness, or the mind and the body is not cooperating to please Krishna. So then it becomes very difficult. So that is why we pray to Krishna that you please help me get a better consciousness, like a better revelation of yourself, so that I can understand you, I can actually be in a better position to serve you, right? So in that way, like expecting a revelation of Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna, it is very nice actually. That kind of this one. We can actually offer a prayer that if you are pleased with this service, kindly award me with spiritual realization, so that I can render better service to you and please you in a better way, right? So in that way, like, we can actually pray, and we can avoid this thought about the opposite sex. So it's purely and purely based on the mercy of the Lord, and like how much intensely we are praying to the Lord, and then how much Lord is showering mercy upon us, that he will save us from this thoughts of the material existence, right? So save us from the thoughts of this women, family, children and stuff like that. So this is what happens when many times devotees actually, after quite a long period of time, also sometimes they change ashram. So it is somehow or other like this aspect of the thought about the opposite sex has arisen. So the probable reasons are probably like too much engagement with the opposite sex can create this, or committing offenses in the practice of Krishna consciousness. So then also Krishna will hide himself. When Krishna hides himself, automatically the attraction to the opposite sex increases, automatically attraction to home, family, children, all those things increases, right? So naturally, like thoughts about like how will my family members sustain without me? अरे like no, वो तो join करने के time पे like सोच के join किया ना. How is this attraction again coming? So because somehow or other the spiritual realizations have got like covered up. When it is covered up, then automatically all the other things starts start to matter a lot. And when we are again able to engage in the service of the Lord, engage our senses and mind and everything in the service of the Lord properly, so then again Krishna's revelations come, and again we will start seeing, oh, this is all material, and no, this is something that I've renounced for attaining Krishna. So that should be my main goal and things like that. So it is all all these things. For all these things, the mercy of Krishna, the mercy of spiritual master, the mercy of Panchatattva, it's quite very important. So when we lose their mercy, so then it becomes like the material illusion actually starts to command things a lot. So okay, so the possessor, okay. Thus, a man becomes materially attached to family, property, children, and although all these are temporary, the possessor unfortunately identifies with his property and wealth. Sometimes, even after renunciation, one becomes attached to a particular temple or few things that constitute the property of a sannyasi. But such attachment is not as strong as the family attachment. But still, we should not take it lightly. Still it is matter. The matter can expand. So anything that we are using, any facilities or anything that we have. So we should see that, like, for example, we have the facility, either to go by a cab or by an auto or by a public transport or things like that. So we should see that what is a need that is there, and we are utilizing Krishna's Lakshmi. So how should we utilize this Krishna's Lakshmi in a better way, right? So if there is a need that is there to go in this one, like if we have some discussions or some calls and things like that and all, or we have something to do with which demands some attention, so then we can go in a cab. Otherwise, like, we can prefer a public transport or something like that. So we should see that all that facilities that we have, so we should utilize it properly in Krishna's service. We should ask this question to ourselves: am I doing justice to the facilities that is given to me? Am I using it properly in Krishna's service? So then it is fine. So then I will progress in Krishna consciousness. So whether I have done it properly or not will reflect in my in my consciousness. So if I have done properly, then my consciousness will be solidly fixed in Krishna. If I have not done properly, then I will be disturbed. I will not be able to fix my consciousness on Krishna, right? So but for understanding this disturbance, at least first we should fix our consciousness in Krishna. So then when disturbance come, we can understand. So if you are always disturbed, then we cannot understand. So that is something. So you should see that our natural state is that we are fixing ourselves in Krishna consciousness. We should work on getting better absorption in chanting, reading and hearing, and also in terms of other services and things like that. So, and this attachment to few things that we have, that also can potentially create problem. So that is why devotees write ICO in this one, in care of. It is there in my care. Krishna may decide to put this in somebody else's care also. So that detachment comes when we actually meditate upon that particular this and this. All these objects are there in my care. It can be there in somebody else's care also. Tomorrow. So that developing detachment from things by the way of using those things in Krishna's service, right? So that whatever things that is given to us, entrusted to us, we will use them nicely in Krishna's service. So the attachment to the family is the strongest illusion, and here it is mentioned how even the strongest of the material things can, if it is utilized properly in Krishna's service, so then utilized properly or engaged properly according to the regulative principles, then it can help us further in Krishna's Krishna consciousness in spiritual life. So even a wife, the opposite sex is the greatest attraction in the material world. So but even that is utilized in if even that is done in a proper Krishna conscious way, proper regulative principles, following regulative principles, then even that family life can help a person to advance in Krishna consciousness. But we should always understand we are dealing with current. We should deal with that in a proper way, right? So it is not free to access. It has to be accessed by some regulative principles. Now if I want to access the current, so I have to access through the switch only. Now I cannot open the panel and then put the hand inside. So then shock will come. So regulative principle to use the current is, I will use the current only through the switch. No, in the same way, regulative principle to you, like to deal with the opposite sexes, only in the marriage, no, according to the regulative principles, no, like whatever is the governing principles are there, no, we should like follow them properly, right? So, and nonetheless, most people are bound by the knots of material relationship, and consequently they forget their relationship with Krishna. So this is the corollary, or no, opposite to it, like where we positively engage in Krishna's service, so Krishna will reveal himself, and then we will understand ourselves, Krishna, and all the things around. And then when we positively engage in relationship with the opposite sex, we will not be able to see Krishna, we will not be able to see ourselves, we will not be able to see things around. Everything will become dark. So like that. Okay, so I pause here. Any comments, questions can take up. Yes, Pooh.
You mentioned the class that in the olden days, so for a child, they used to send to the ashram, and for the women, they used to stay in the home and they will be taught with the care of their mother. And they grow up, and after certain brahmachari life, they enter into the married life. And then in nowadays we can't see this kind of culture. So they are being directly put into material activities, and now ISKCON is giving this kind of platform where so they can come and they practice brahmacharya, and if they want they can enter into the life. So then also you mentioned in the class that after certain period of brahmachari life, so a devotee getting into marriage. So how to understand, because you mentioned that he is losing his spiritual realization, is being covered up, and he is not able to see that.
So there is two ways of entering into Grahastha life. One is that a person is disturbed in the brahmacharya ashram and he gets into Grahastha life. Another is with clarity, he understands that is a suitable ashram for him to advance in Krishna consciousness. So, like if a person is like too much disturbed, by the this one, not being able to practice Krishna consciousness properly in the ashram, so then like he becomes too disturbed, and then his attraction to the opposite sex increases, right? So but then when he practices Krishna consciousness nicely, so then he understands that he has a need for psychophysical nature, he has a need to have some kind of a security, and some kind of an a setup of a grahastha ashram is needed for him to progress. So then like switching like that is good. Switching like that is actually good. So but then switching with this one, whereas he had realizations of better realizations, but then because of some offenses or because of some too much indulgence with the opposite sex, so then his mind becomes disturbed. So then because of the disturbed condition, if they enter into grahastha ashram, so then that is because of the losing of spiritual touch actually. And when they enter into grahastha ashram like that, they will also choose a partner who is also equally in illusion. so and they will not choose a proper. See, when a person wants to like enter into grahastha ashram with clarity, so they will be entering by the blessings of Guru and like blessings of the parents, and they will choose like they will not choose. Basically, the elders will choose a proper match according to them. So because when we see, like when a person sees like, oh, this is my suitable match, so he may be able to, with little bit of interaction, he may be able to understand, oh, this person is better. But one rule of relationship is there. Anybody you meet first time or first few times, everybody wants to present their best part to the other person, right? So we will never understand what is actually there on the other side. So everybody wants to, like even our own self also, like we go and meet so many people, like first time when we meet somebody, we want to present our best picture, and they also want to present their best picture. So always we will feel happy with a new relationship. So like the test of this one is how well we are doing in the old relationship. No, that's the test of this one. So now this person, like, will that person suit me or not? That only our kundli will say. So the ganas should match, and then the character should match, and this one should match. So initially it may not look very nice, but that will match. No, that person, that relationship will match, right? So that is a very, very important principle, that we should not go by the external attractiveness. No, external attractiveness will fade down, no, over a period of time. So, but the real relationship can happen in this one through that. So that's why the parents, they see, no, like, because it is always, if I am the person to be getting married, so then when I see, I'll be biased. No, I should not see that. So some, like, superiors, who are interested in my welfare, they should see. No, then they will see, like, unbiased way, they will see, and they will get the person married, right? So that in that way, like, that is this one. So when, with clarity, when somebody wants to switch to Grahastha ashram, so it will happen like this, like Karda Muni and Devotees section, like, that we can see. So there it is mentioned, the devotee, if he wants to be married, like, he feels that is a right ashram to be there. So he will pray to Krishna, and he will intensely practice devotional service, and Guru and Krishna will bring about the right kind of this one. So he will express his desire, and then Guru and Krishna, like, they manage, and they in the right time, so they actually get the boy and girl married, like that. So it happens.
Good understanding when they enter. So this is one case. So one more case you say, like, if they have disturbed. So what is the right ashram for him? To continue in the brahmacharya ashram?
So first right thing is that somehow or other he should get clarity. Somehow or other, wherever he is, some a little bit, he should. The first thing is, when the mind is disturbed. So Prabhupada says in one quote recently, 2-3 days before this quote came, or a week before. So whenever the mind is disturbed, like, take some time out, like, try to chant intensely, or pray intensely, and things like that. So try to somehow or other get Krishna consciousness back. So, and then at a peaceful state, we can actually take a call. In disturbed state, whatever decision we take, it may be like, it may add further disturbance only. So the right thing is to somehow or other, like, come to a state of peaceful existence. So what are the things that can possibly create disturbance? In the root cause of misery in our Gita course, what all we put? Over attachment to body. So somehow or other, like, we can try to try to see that everything that I possess should be utilized in Krishna's service. And then what is the second thing? Attitude of comparison. If I have an attitude of comparison, oh, this devotee is doing this, I am not able to do this. No, he is doing that well. No, I am not able to do. So, oh, he is not able to do, I am able to do. These kind of things can create disturbance in the mind. So then we should try to see, like, how to overcome this. Try to appreciate. Oh, like, this person is doing this so very nice. It is so nice. And actually, by appreciating, we will get those qualities. So that's a secret of, like, actually advancement. When we appreciate somebody of something, we will get those qualities. But then when we are envious about that, so we will not, only we will get disturbance of mind. So that is the result of that. So that, comparison aspect. What else is there? Sinful activities. If we commit any sinful activities, if we are engaged in some sinful activity, then also that also creates some disturbance. And many other aspects of disturbance is there. This is not the exhaustive list. So, like, these, when the disturbance is there, we should try to do antidote. We should try to like, reverse this one. When attitude of comparison is there, we should try to appreciate. And when too much attachment to body is there, then we should try to see that everything is properly engaged in Krishna's service. And specifically, we should take guidance at that point in time. And then we should try to openly analyze our situation. Why this disturbance could have happened, and then we should try to see that how we can actually place our thoughts back in the Lord. So once our thought process is a little bit stable, so then we will again get clarity. In the disturbed, this one, like, generally it will. So when the disturbance, what happens when a grahastha becomes disturbed? He wants to run away from home. And when a brahmachari gets disturbed, he wants to run away from ashram. So in disturbed mind, only one thing: except for me, everything else is wrong. No, I have to change the situation. No, and in clarity, what happens is, no, except for me, everything is right. Only I am wrong. No, I have to change myself. So like this world will continue to exist like this. No, how can it change the whole world? It is not possible to change the whole world. I have embarked into a journey of self-realization. I have to change, transform myself, within. So that transformation, and for that, if there is some particular environment is best suitable, so I will adopt that environment. So that clarity will come, right? So transformation of heart, that's very, very important. So in disturbed mind, like always, we will try to prove ourselves right and prove everything else is wrong. So in that way, there is no possible solution for that, because how we can fix everything in this world? It is not possible. So we have to fix ourselves, right? Like that.
Disturbed mind. How can a person chant nicely? How can a person?
That's why the guidance is needed. At that time, support is needed. So what happens is, we can actually get the Krishna consciousness from the heart of another devotee. So when our thing gets lost, that's how the association of devotees actually help. So when we lose our battery charge, we cannot put it to the main power, that is Krishna. So we have to take it, borrow from another devotee who has already got power, and that transmission is possible actually. Spending time. And we should understand, in the disturbed mind, no Krishna consciousness will make sense to us. And we have to tolerate, and we have to somehow or other, put up with another devotee, spend time with another devotee, wherein hearing good instructions of Krishna consciousness, and to come out of the bitterness and to come to a little bit of taste, it will take some time. That span we should give. That span we should give. So, one thing that is, this one is when disturbed mind. So, as Prabhupada says, don't do anything, just sit in one place and try to calm down. And then try to take association of devotee. All that the devotee may say will look completely impractical, but just stay cool and try to just be there for some time, and then it will start making sense after some time. So that's a difficult portion actually. So when disturbance comes, we should not do any action, just simply sit. Jidhar hai sthan hai sthita. Nothing to be done. Whether should I do this or do that? No, nothing to be done. Sit quietly. And spend time with Krishna consciousness. So no change has to be done at that time. In disturbed mind, somebody asks Prabhu, I want to take divorce. Arey banda beto udhar, ghar mein beto aur thoda sa bhagavatam padho, kuch mat karo. And disturbed said, Brahmachari wants to go out. Arey shanti se beto thoda der, some clarity aayega. So after getting clarity also, if somebody thinks, this ashram is best for me to progress in Krishna consciousness, then okay, fine. So I'm able to chant nicely and study nicely and things like that. And then I'm feeling some discomfort in the Brahmacharya ashram and I want to get married. So it's perfectly fine. We can opt for that. So but then it should be in a stable state of mind. It should be in a proper proper state of mind. We should do that.
There's a great need of a person. So in that situation, there's a great need of a person who can invest our trust.
Yeah. So that is a time, a living entity is sincerely looking for a person who is really interested in me. Who will not, for his benefit, he will not उनको कोई आश्रम में रखना है इसके लिए convince करके मुझे बिठा देंगे आश्रम में. If we have that kind of a thought, we cannot put trust in that person, then we cannot reveal our heart, and then we cannot take the instructions nicely. So that is this one. So that's a very, very important thing. And for us also, those of you who are there, all of you, in short while, you will become leaders and you will be guiding and caring for people. So whenever I do something for my benefit, manipulating another person, we actually kill the trust between ourselves and that person. And actually that time only we have lost that person. So it is there will be some relationship strain, and then we will lose the person eventually. So they will come and say, Prabhuji, I'm feeling better to be there under that Prabhuji and things like that. So, and we will lose that person. So we should never exploit a person for our need. No? So that's a very, very important this one. So we may suffer, but we should never exploit another person for our need. We should always see that what is best for him, and that has to be done. And then when we do that, so then automatically that person also will think like what is best for us. No? The relationship actually reciprocation comes. So we should always think what is best for him, and that should be done. So, and we should not put ourselves in this one. Now our service may suffer, many things may suffer, but it doesn't matter. No, I am in a relationship with this person. No, we are both are there in the ashram. So I have to see what is best for him. No, yesterday Achutpu very nicely mentioned. So one should serve all the Vaishnavas, right? So junior or senior, everyone, we should try to serve. So serving means what is best for him. No, that should be taught, right? So then we will win a relationship. So when we see that my desire is this, I want things to be done like this, and everything should happen the way I think, and things like that, then gradually we will lose trust of relationship, and then we will nobody will have a good sync with us, right? So it's a very important point. Yesterday's point, I don't know whether I highlighted or not, but when Prabhu was mentioning, it was very nice point. I relished that point that we should try to serve every devotee, and in that way, by the way of service, by the way of thinking, the service starts by what best that I can do for that person, how I can help him in his Krishna consciousness. So when I start thinking about him, forgetting my benefit out of that person, so then actually we win a relationship, like that.
Regarding this quality, this quality of appreciating other devotees, that we should appreciate, and that's what that's when we'll not get envious with other devotees. And also you mentioned that when we appreciate, we get those qualities. So how does I appreciate many people who are singing nicely, but then my voice still
See, the physical limitations that we may have, some physical limitations. Voice box, what we have got is what we have got. But then we'll become devotionally attractive. So there are, when we appreciate, and that's why we should also appreciate the spiritual aspects of a particular performance. If we appreciate a material nice exhibition of a good voice, so then that may not help us so much. Again, that is in the modes of nature, and we will again be afflicted in the modes of nature. But if somebody is singing with some devotion, so that aspect can be appreciated, right? So when we appreciate that, the spiritual aspects will come, and then also the singing will become from the devotional aspect, it will become very attractive. So people will like to hear that particular this one. So devotional, it will become attractive. Very. Antaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.